Hi! Glad you can join in on Impact 360. I'm Anams Oluchi in Abuja, the Nigerian capital. Nothing in life comes without costs and benefits. Even situations that seem simple have inbuilt complexities. Take the firstborn phenomenon, for instance.
Life interactions often throw up interesting twists. Some appear simple and straightforward, yet deep down lies a web of complications. Take the firstborn phenomenon. This refers to the attention and consideration given to the first to be born among a line of siblings of same parenthood. This phenomenon comes with benefits, power, authority, and duties, responsibilities, and obligations attached. In several climes, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, the whole of Asia, Eastern Europe, and South America, the firstborn syndrome commands a high degree of seriousness. It is generally a spin-off from the universal preeminence given to male authority figure, with man considered as the head of a family. The firstborn issue is, however, not exclusively male inclined, as females can also be first in a biological bloodline of siblings. A first child, or a firstborn as it is commonly called, most times plays the lead figure in the absence of the father, and in some cases even while the parents are alive. Through ages, the role of the firstborn child has been socially significant, particularly in male-dominated societies. Being the first child of a family entails essential responsibilities and duties with accompanying requisites and benefits. Experts have long argued that the firstborn child receives differentiated treatment within the household. Psychologists, for instance, say firstborn children get more care than siblings born afterwards. Experts submit further that other siblings sequentially make do with shared parental attention, unlike the firstborn, who may be pampered exclusively from day one. The first child is often raised with more care and attention than the other siblings that follow, an advantage that enables the firstborn child to develop certain characteristics, good and bad. Though the firstborn child enjoys some requisites, they are, however, likely to be saddled with more responsibilities as he or she grows in adulthood. This is a price most firstborns pay, which tend to trigger an intense sense of fear of failure. According to Michelle P. Maidenberg, a child and family therapist in New York, nothing the first child accomplishes feels good enough. Society, religion, and culture place extreme burden on the firstborn child in families. Being the eldest child in the family often entails additional responsibilities, expectations, and demands. Across the globe, and especially in Africa, different cultures exhibit this tendency in varying degrees. Nonetheless, the added pressure and importance associated with firstborns seem a universal trait. The consequence is that a firstborn child can suffer mental collapse under such responsibilities, with effects ranging from anxiety disorder to severe case of lack of performance. Being a firstborn in Nigeria, as in most African countries, comes with so many responsibilities. The child is expected to set examples and standards for the younger siblings. With the coming of age, the firstborn steps in as parent to younger siblings and bears the family burden. Most firstborns end up living in the shadow of fulfilling their parents' dreams. They hardly live their own dreams. They always find themselves trying to be the perfect child. Parents from different cultures mostly expect the firstborn child to be the one to carry on the family name and legacy, as well as maintain the family reputation.
In the circle of life, aging is inevitable. No one can do anything to stop nor alter this course of nature. It comes when it comes, period. So when it comes, and it will eventually, what safety nets are there in terms of policies, societal arrangements, and individual efforts to accommodate and navigate the peculiar challenges that come with aging? This report underpins the importance of caring for the elderly.
Aging is an inevitable process in life. It is in the nature of humans to age, the frailties of the circle of life. Individuals must necessarily grow older, and with that comes diminished skills, capacity, strength, and vitality. If all these remain, physical and health conditions may weigh in on the capacity to navigate the vagaries and exigencies of life. This presents peculiar circumstances that necessitates actions through state-driven policies or communal arrangements that take into account the peculiar needs of the elderly. The logic is that those within the aged demography would have put in most of their youthful energies into service for several years and have become weak to go on all by themselves. The elder are therefore a vital consideration in the design and structure of safety nets created at individual, communal, or governmental levels. This is the practice across the world. Most countries have in place one form of safety net specific to the aged. Health, recreational, welfare, retirement packages, and more are part of the inclusive safety nets in some climes. Such social safety nets consist of non-contributory assistance existing to improve the lives of especially the vulnerable and frail. In some parts of the world, policies are in place for conditional and unconditional cash transfers, fee waivers, public works, and school feeding programs. Social safety nets initiative have a long history as a protective mechanism and can be traced back to ancient Egypt and the Roman Empire. A more recent history of social safety nets began in the 1980s, following global and bank events that influenced the initiative. In the broader sense, the World Bank estimates that social safety net programs have helped over 36% of the poorest in the world escape extreme poverty. However, the biggest challenge prevails in the poorest countries, as only 20% of the poorest inhabitants in low-income countries are included in social safety net programs. The elderly appear to be most excluded in low-income nations, where the bulk of this demography retire to misery, ill health, weak financial status, depression, among other negative indices. Some nations, however, post a more positive outlook in terms of care for the aged as a state policy. In Bangladesh, for instance, social safety net programs for the vulnerable, including the elderly, help them cope with natural disasters and other shocks. Incentives are provided to parents for children's education and health needs. In the United Kingdom, the elderly, mostly at the age bracket of 60 years and above, get free medical prescriptions and National Health Service (NHS) eye tests. They also get free NHS dental treatment and can also claim pension guarantee credits or other benefits if they are under state pension age. In recent years, the Nigerian and its development partners have sought to develop social protection instruments to tackle the country's high rates of vulnerability among the elderly as part of a larger group of the poor. The government has introduced different kinds of social safety net program for the poor, the disabled, and the vulnerable. However, questions around the effectiveness of these initiatives remain focal. More pointedly, are elderly Nigerians being looked after as a state-driven policy?
That's all we have on Impact 360 for now. Join us again as we continue to engage issues that impact you and which you in turn seek to impact on. I'm Anams Oluchi. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.